Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, what up, Q? What up, Radio World?
My name is Quincy. And this is my show, the Talk to Q Radio Show. It's almost like posting a blog, except I'm doing it live. All of it here.
Thank you for having me on your show. So awesome to be here with you and all your listeners.
I ain't telling you don't screw. Screw is cool.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that came out, all kinds of freaky. That's not what I meant.
You know, we need more shows like this because people need as much relationship help out there as they can get.
I was told that I was a man eater. Well, I am pro-woman, but I'm not anti-man. I know the value of a good man. Does that make sense? I like that. I'm going to say that again.
What's going on, man? What up, what up?
Hey, Q. Hey, everybody. If you ain't laying it down.
I bring thunder and light in every single topic.
Is that it?
All right, how's it going, everyone? I want to welcome all of you to the Talk to Q Radio Show tonight. My name is Quincy, and this is my show. Now, before I get started, let me do a little show maintenance. This show is fueled by opinions, so feel free to speak your mind because some things just need to be said. Here on the Talk to Q Radio Show, there are usually no experts, just opinions. Unlike most shows where you simply just listen to the host, I allow you a chance to do the talking completely uncensored. This show is very informal, yet informative, and it basically comes off as a conversation at a bar amongst friends. Regardless if you agree or disagree with what's being said by other callers, you will get a chance to speak your mind as well. If you have a question about anything we discussed tonight or a question for our guest, then give me a call at 347-202-0215. If you don't wish to call, then join the chat room and let your thoughts be known from there, and I'll read them on the air. Again, the call-in number is 347-202-0215. Once you dial in and you get an urge to voice your opinion or ask a question or make a comment, then just hit 1 on your dial pad, and that will enter you into the host queue, letting me know that you're ready to talk. Please be sure to be in a quiet room with no background noise because cell phones and Skype microphones can pick up a lot of background noise. Okay? Now, if calling in isn't your thing or if the chat room isn't your thing, you can also ask questions or make comments via Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at TalkToQ, and that's Talk, the number 2, Q. And if you decide to go that route, then please use hashtag T2Q to live chat during the show, okay? Maintenance complete. Now, excuse me, I want to welcome my guest making her first appearance on the Talk to Q Radio Show. She's an author, keynote speaker, entrepreneur. Everyone, please welcome Sweta Patel to T2Q. Sweta, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing fine. I'm, excuse me, still trying to get over a cold that I've been battling for a week, and I keep thinking it's going to get better, and still haven't quite gotten there yet.
Well, I hope you get better. Drink lots of water.
That's exactly what I need to do. I need to be a little more disciplined with that. But, okay, so it's nice to have you on. Give me a little background about yourself and what you set out to accomplish every day as a speaker.
Well, I'm always about self-improvement every day as a speaker. I always learn something new in the speaking world, whether I'm speaking to middle school students or I'm speaking to 40-year-old women. I always learn something new. Right now I'm focusing on writing my 4th book, which is called The Campus Boss Movement, which talks about basically how you can stand out like a boss and still be having the same morals, same values that you were brought up with, but be able to stand out from the crowd, because usually the cool kids are the ones that have to have like a lot of girls around them, or be in some part of a party, or take part in something that wasn't what their parents wanted them to do when they went to college. So the campus boss movement is more about time management, how you can basically own your life in all 5 aspects and be a boss.
Okay, so, and that's true, because when, when young people get into college, a lot of times they find themselves having to put down some of the values they learned from home training in order to try and fit in. So, I mean, what is your message to young women who are just getting started? Like you said, they can do both. How do you get them to do that?
Well, young women who have just started college, I would tell them to stand on their ground, because the college experience has a great way of marketing itself to get people off their ground, get off their values and morals, and attend their parties instead of focusing on the principles that they learned when they were young. And when they attend these parties, when they go out with men, they tend to loosen up, and by pressure, they may lose their principles. And they may lose out. I mean, they may have a great time with the guy may be fun, but at the end of the day, they may be left by the curb and not knowing what happened, why it happened, what happened to the guy they were with, and all these emotions will be occurring in their mind. In the end, most women tend to lose when they focus on the parties versus the principle.
Okay, so as far as the people who may go on and they meet, said guy, and things don't work out, the guy has different intentions than maybe she does, then, I mean, what exactly is a young woman to do as far as protecting her heart, so to speak, while she's at school? I mean, she's entering the dating world as a young woman. How does she keep from getting hurt like that?
Well, it's about focusing on the character of the guy. A lot of women I've met with and mentored, they've always talked about physical characteristics. I mean, they've talked about their values, and they tell me, I want a guy who is loyal, I want a guy who's trustworthy, I want a guy who's faithful, but yet they go out with guys who are completely the opposite.
Right.
And why isn't the guy that you want attractive to you? Why is that other guy attractive to you, but he has none of the qualities that you want in somebody? So that's when the physical characteristics play more of an important role in their lives than the character of somebody and their morals and values. And it's really important to understand someone's character and their morals and values before jumping into a relationship. I mean, if a guy's only there when he wants to be there, that's not really consistent caring. You can't call that guy caring when he's consistently not doing his job, correct?
Exactly. I agree. I mean, but some people have to find out the hard way. So, I mean, they go through it, things don't work out, the guy breaks up with them. How can they avoid this being a repeating process? How can you avoid being hurt again over and over?
Well, you have to realize your worth. You have to have self-respect. If someone's not treating you the way that you want to be treated, you should always want to be treated like a queen or a princess in a relationship. I mean, isn't that how you want to feel by your significant other? And when you're not feeling that way and things are just not feeling right, or they're not feeling like, okay, well, this guy is only there when he wants to be there. He's there part-time. He's not even there when I'm doing things and focusing on my dreams, and he's not supportive of that. I mean, what is the point of this relationship, correct?
Okay.
So the woman is really the helper. And the man I see is the power of the relationship.
Okay. All right. 347-202-0215 is the number on the Talk to Q radio show. I'm on the line with author and keynote speaker Sweta Patel. And callers, I will get to you in just a moment. I see we have a couple of calls holding. Now, in previous speeches and interviews, you've used the term rock bottom because a lot of the things that you talk to people about are based on experiences that you had. Now, when you use the term rock bottom, what exactly does this entail?
Rock bottom meaning I was in an abusive relationship for 4 years. I was left empty. I was about to fail out of college. I was on a path towards prostitution. I had none of my family members by my side supporting me. I basically had nobody in my life at that time. And I was left on the curb by the man that I considered I loved and I thought that I loved for 4 years. So after going through that and being diagnosed with an illness called autoimmune hemolytic anemia, I kind of did hit rock bottom. I mean, that was like an illness that I could have died if I was 30 years old.
Oh, my goodness. Now, is that taken care of now, or the illness?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it had to do with the dynamics I was in, the circumstance, my thinking. All of that turned around when I wrote these books. I finally graduated college with honors, and I'm speaking all over the nation at different colleges and different youth audiences.
So what steps did you take to overcome your fears to create this success? I mean, how exactly did you gain your footing in order to start into the right direction?
Well, I was young. I was about 20 years old. I knew I wanted to go into marketing, and I knew that I could do something in that field because I had a passion for it. It was my field of expertise, and I was invited to speak at a marketing conference. And one of the clients there said, "Hey, Sweta, you did so well. I want to hire you." And I said, "I don't really even have a business, or I don't really do this for people. I just work for a company right now." And he was so interested in speaking by what I had to say. She came up and she said, "I want you to work with me. I want you to build my brand." And I worked with her for a few months. I got to meet her web developer, and I told the web developer that, "Hey, I hit rock bottom. I think I'm in something that I cannot get out of no matter what." And he inspired me, and he said, "Sweta, this is not rock bottom. This is a setup for your comeback of writing 3 books." And he gave me the inspiration and the idea of writing books based on my experiences to help women all over the nation.
Okay. Now, as far as the background to you reaching that low point, I know you mentioned that you didn't have any support from family. What kind of role did you have as far as your father was concerned when you were growing up?
My father and I really had a relationship on the surface. I mean, I was very respectful of my father because he was bringing in money to the table. He was taking care of the family in ways that, okay, well, I'm feeding them, and I need to do my duties as a man to bring food to the table. However, my father wasn't really involved in my life as much as I would wanted him to be. I really felt like I was on my own a lot of times in my life, but I had a lot of coaches, I had a lot of help, and, when my father came around after my illness, it was kind of like I didn't even know what to say to him because I was in the moment of, hey, I've kind of replaced you with all these great coaches and mentors. What more is there to say?
All right, so how can young women still maintain themselves without a father's